Hey, come. Samsung said this setup is going to change your living room into a cinema.
Yeah, but that's what marketing loves to say. We are here to test this soundbar to see if it can actually live up to its hype, especially when paired with this Samsung OLED beast. I've been testing this setup for a week now, watching movies, playing games, listening to Spotify, even fighting over the remote control. So, I've got a lot to say. First up, the setup. Plug in the soundbar connected to the subwoofer connected to the TV, done. Simple and straightforward. Unless you put the subwoofer in the wrong spot, like Wei Xiang did. In that case, the bass will be too boomy or completely gone, so just don't shove the sub against the wall. Leave some breathing room and you'll get cleaner, tighter bass. Oh, and by the way, Samsung actually lets you combine the speakers with the pre-existing speakers on the TV, and that's actually pretty smart. Basically, instead of muting the TV speakers, the Q-Symphony actually syncs them together. It creates a bigger, more immersive soundstage without needing extra rare speakers. Just remember though, Q-Symphony only works with the Samsung TVs, so if you've got a Sony or an LG, it doesn't work. Oh, and also one more thing. Even though this is a wireless soundbar, the Q-Symphony only works when you plug in the HDMI cable, so that's something for you to keep in mind. So, how does it even sound? Well, I can say that it gets really loud without clipping. There's a good amount of bass to it, but that's more or less what I can say about it. I feel like the mids and the highs tend to get a bit muddy, and they tend to get lost in the bass. Maybe a custom EQ curve can fix it, but unfortunately there isn't one in the app. So, all in all, if you are an audiophile, you're probably better off with the Q990 series. But if loudness and bass is all you're looking for, then this is hell of a party speaker. Design-wise, this thing is crazy slim, just 38mm, perfect if you've got a minimalist setup or limited space. Oh, and speaking of usability, the remotes are refreshingly simple now. Both the S95F TV and QS700F soundbar use minimalist remotes with just the essentials. Yeah, none of those old school remotes with the 50 tiny buttons you'll never touch. And bonus, Samsung's SmartThings app can also control both devices if you want to ditch the remotes completely. Unless you're like him who keeps losing his remotes anyway. This soundbar supports Dolby ATMOS and DTS X. Well, you gotta keep in mind that this is not a full-blown surround system. But they use upwards-facing speakers to bounce the sound off the ceiling to create a surround sound effect. Well, we did see a big difference, but it's not as mind-blowing as we hoped it to be. Oh, and since the TV is a 4K 144Hz panel, this combo was pretty fun to game with. I'm sure Wei Xiang enjoyed his time where he's supposed to be working. Overall, this setup for its price is okay, especially if you only care about its bass, loudness, and ease of use. But if you want more, especially if you want to pair it with the amazing S95F OLED TV, I would suggest you to look a little higher up for something like the Q990 series. So that's what I think about this. Let me know your take on this. Make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment, and until then, I'll see you in the next one.